This is a breaking news update. Vice President Kamala Harris has made her VP pick. She has selected the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, as her vice presidential running mate. Tim Walz is now the official presumptive Democratic vice presidential candidate in the 2024 election. Here's Tim Walz, a former Army officer, a former social studies teacher, a former state champion football coach, a former congressman who served in the House of Representatives from 2007 to 2019, and he's currently an extremely successful governor in the state of Minnesota. Here are some of the policies that Governor Tim Walz signed into law in Minnesota: universal school meals, stronger labor protections, cannabis legalization, stronger LGBTQ plus protections, paid sick leave, 100% clean energy by 2030, reproductive rights legislation, $1 billion for housing, gun safety, and he cut child poverty by 1/3 in the state of Minnesota. Want to share this with you as well. This was one of the key interviews by Governor Tim Walz over the past few weeks, where he was calling out Donald Trump and Shady Vance as being weird. Here, play this clip.
What I know is that people like J.D. Vance know nothing about small-town America. My town had 400 people in it, 24 kids in my graduating class, 12 were cousins, and he gets it all wrong. It's not about hate. It's not about collapsing in. The golden rule there is mind your own damn business. Their policies are what destroyed rural America. They've divided us. They're in our exam rooms. They're telling us what books to read. And I think what Kamala Harris knows is bringing people together around the shared values, strong public schools, strong labor unions that create the middle class, healthcare that's affordable and accessible. Those are the things. You look what they're talking about. They went right to division. They did not give us a plan on healthcare. Donald Trump talked about infrastructure. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris built bridges, built roads. So I think this is going back to the bread and butter, getting away from this division. We do not like what has happened where we can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner with our uncle because you end up in some weird fight that is unnecessary. and I think bringing back people together, well, it's true. These guys are just weird. And it's, you know, they're running for He-Man Women Haters Club or something. That's what they go at. That's not what people are interested in. And there is angst because robber barons like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump gutted the Midwest, told us we didn't do that. They talk about private schools. Where in the heck are you going to find a private school in a town of 400? Those are public schools. Those are great teachers that are out there making a difference and gave us an opportunity to succeed. That angst that J.D. Vance talks about in Hillbilly Elegy, none of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale, and none of them went on to be venture capitalists or whatever. It's not who people really are. So I think that message doesn't resonate. You saw it yesterday. The energy out here exploded. We all broke fundraising records, but that's not what I look at. Door knocks are full. Phone banks are full. People are talking about what's possible. We are finally on offense about an America where we're all together. So good. Have Orban down to Florida. The vice president will come out here and stand in a Planned Parenthood. She stands in a Planned Parenthood clinic in St. Paul. That's what people want to see.
By the way, here is the moment when Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed a law guaranteeing all students receive free breakfast and lunch no matter their household income in the state of Minnesota. Contrast this to all of the kind of book banning and the hateful legislation we've seen where MAGA governors have been in control. Play the clip.
It is now law.
This was another big moment over the past 2 weeks where Governor Tim Walz explained the strategy of how to win against MAGA Republicans. Play the clip.
But these guys are just weird. That's where they are. So it isn't much else. Don't give them the power. Look, are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes. They're going to do all that. But don't lift these guys up like they're sometimes heroes. Everybody in this room knows, I know it as a teacher, a bully has no self-confidence. A bully has no strength. They have nothing. The fascists depend on fear. The fascists depend on us going back. But we're not afraid of weird people. No. We're a little bit creeped out, but we're not afraid. But look, and then as you heard this, and one day ago, a poll came out and showed Kamala Harris up 10 points and Donald Trump getting his ass handed to him here in Minnesota. So, sorry. But he's here today in the state of hockey to complete his trifecta. He lost in 16, he lost in 20, he loses in 24.
Here is another interesting stat. Governor Tim Walz is the first person on a Democratic presidential ticket not to have attended law school since Jimmy Carter in 1980. It was between Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, in terms of who Vice President Kamala Harris was going to pick. It was between Governor Walz and Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania. Ultimately, Vice President Kamala Harris selected Governor Walz. Both incredible selections, both incredibly accomplished governors who have delivered so much for their state. Let me show you this clip right here as one person says, what Tim Walz is doing right now is the most effortless and compelling critique of Trumpism we've seen from a Democrat. An organic, folksy, straightforward vibe that's made for this moment. It's authentically Governor Walz. The perfect counterpunch to the weird Trump-Vance fascist duo. Play the clip.
Hey, Minnesota, Governor Walz here, out at the State Fair with my daughter.
Hope.
Every year we as a family do something old and something new. I get to pick something, a classic, the old mill ride, to do that. And then Hope gets to pick something new.
I think we're gonna go do the slingshot.
Which I don't know what it is, and they're keeping it from me. But then we're gonna go get some food, corn dog.
I'm vegetarian.
Turkey then. And
Turkey's meat.
Not in Minnesota, turkey special. And we will go do some of those things and report back. Minnesota, it's worth it. Woo. Wow, that is wild.
No, that was pretty cool, actually.
That is wild.
Awesome. No, that would be good.
It was okay. It was so worth it. Good call.
It was good.
Thanks for talking me into it.
You're welcome.
Donald Trump has responded with email after email after email. Trump's response to Vice President Kamala Harris's selection of Tim Walz is, Tim Walz will unleash hell on earth. Tim Walz would be the worst VP in history, even worse than dangerously liberal and crooked. Kamala Harris, he's that bad. He'll unleash hell on earth and open our borders to the worst criminals imaginable. He'll rubber stamp Kamala, he doesn't even know how to spell, Kamala, Green New scam, and light trillions of dollars on fire. But the real killer, he's already pulled in millions in dirty cash to buy the White House. When it comes to Donald Trump and MAGA, it is all projection and it is all confession. Here's a photo of citizen soldier Governor Walz in his military uniform. You see him right there. Here he was again in the summer of 1981 in basic training in the United States Army. You can see that right there. Let me leave you finally with this interview of Governor Walz and Jen Psaki, former press secretary in the White House. Play the clip.
this is just awkward. They're awkward. And it stems from who's asking for this crazy stuff? Who's asking to raise the price of insulin? Who's asking to get rid of birth control? They do these focus groups or whatever. Who's sitting in a bar in Racine, Wisconsin saying, you know, we need to ban Animal Farm? Nobody is. They're talking about real things. So when these guys get in situations in front of real people and trying to pretend like they know what people are going through, they've got nothing to offer. And no one can picture them in their own lives. I brought this thing up that Donald Trump tries to mock Vice President Harris for laughing. And I made the point, you never see this guy laugh. You never see him do these normal things. Imagine when I go home at night, I pick up the Frisbee and throw it, and my dog catches it, he comes over, he gets the belly rub for being a good boy. Picture these guys doing that kind of stuff. They just can't. And what it allows us to do is, we hear you where you're coming from.
And so, folks, we knew something was up yesterday when we saw all of those black SUVs. Secret Service seemed to be all over Tim Walz' St. Paul residence in Minnesota. But now we have official confirmation. Share with me what you think in the comments below about this selection by Vice President Kamala Harris. But a very accomplished governor from Minnesota has been selected. Read for you his bio. All right. We will have more coverage today. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.